The man that touches someone and then they vanish into thin air. There was a man that lived down the street. Nobody really knew his name. They just called him the Vanisher. He was always alone, always lurking in the shadows, always keeping to himself. He never made eye contact, and when people would walk past him, he'd just vanish into thin air, literally. One minute he'd be there, the next he'd be gone. And you'd think this would freak people out, but we were all too afraid to look back. So we just kept walking. One day I was homesick from work, so I decided to take a walk around the neighborhood. I was hoping to get some fresh air and maybe find some peace and quiet. That's when I saw him. The Vanisher was sitting on a bench across the street. I stared at him for a moment, trying to figure out if he was real or just a figment of my imagination. But as I watched, he slowly got up and started walking towards me. I froze in fear as he approached, my heart pounding in my chest. As he drew closer, his face contorted into a terrifying grin. His eyes were wide and soulless, staring directly at me. Then he did something that made my blood run cold. He stuck out his hand and touched my shoulder. It was like ice, like touching a solid block of ice. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My whole body went numb. I could feel my life force draining away from me as I collapsed to the ground, my vision fading, and then everything went black. When I woke up, I was lying on the ground in front of his house. I don't remember much after he touched me. It's like my mind blocked it out. But I do remember thinking, maybe this is how it ends, lying on the cold, hard ground in front of a maniac's house. Maybe this is where I die. I struggled to get up, my body aching and heavy. I stumbled inside the house, my eyes desperately searching for an exit. The walls were covered in pictures of missing persons, their faces pale and lifeless, their eyes hollow and haunting. I could feel their pain, their fear, their desperation as they reached out from the pictures, begging for help. I turned to leave, but a deep, raspy voice stopped me. "Looking for someone?" he asked, his words dripping with malice. "Where is she?" I demanded, my voice shaking with rage and grief. He only smiled, his eyes gleaming with delight. "She's gone," he whispered, his breath hot on my ear. "Just like all the others." He stepped back, his grin widening. "Join us," he rasped, gesturing to the pictures on the wall. "Become one of us." That's when I knew what he did. He takes people's souls when he touches them. That's why they're trapped in those pictures, forever frozen in time. He must have taken hundreds of souls. The thought of what he had done to them filled me with righteous anger. He lunged at me, his eyes burning with a terrifying light. But this time I was ready. Fueled by adrenaline and vengeance, I fought back. I scratched and clawed at him, biting down on his arm as hard as I could. He roared in pain and anger, but I didn't care. I would have kept attacking him, but suddenly I felt something strange. My vision started to blur. My body began to weaken. I looked down in horror as my hands started to glow, then vanish into thin air. It was like being hit by a freezing cold wave. I stumbled back, terrified. Was this the end? Had he taken my soul too? I collapsed to my knees, waiting for the inevitable. But it never came. When I looked up, I saw the most amazing thing. The Vanisher was gone, vanished into thin air, and all around me, the pictures on the wall started to glow. Then one by one, the people in the pictures came to life. They were free. As the last picture faded, I knew it was over. I had won. The Vanisher was gone for good. Or was he?